morning and welcome to day 18 of vlogmas. Yesterday nothing much happened. I was still a bit poorly, but today I feel fine actually, and I'm going into the pottery studio for the last time before Christmas. So that's the agenda, and I hope that I need to get a start on making a junk journal for my mother-in-law. So that's the plans for today. So let's get going. Welcome to the top-down part of this vlog. As I mentioned this morning, I need to get my butt in gear and work on my present for my mother-in-law. So I'm gonna turn this beautiful old book into a junk journal. I made a junk journal for my son a couple of years ago, and when she saw that, she said that she would love to have something like that. I think she's forgotten all about it, but I'm hoping she still feels like that. She's a lady that likes to collect memorabilia and stuff that really means something to her, so I'm gonna make a book for her to keep it in. This is a bird book from 1928, and I'm gonna remove this book box, but I'm not gonna throw out the pages, don't you worry, because the illustrations in this one are stunning. I found this book at the local recycling station. They have these containers where they put aside things that they think people might want, and you can take it for free. And so I found this book and the companion, so I have two of them. I found these two at the local their local recycling station. So I am going to use this one for her, and I'm just going to put it aside because I picked out a whole pile of things actually that I want to work on. Just a minute. I need to tea dye a batch of papers tonight, so this is just plain paper from a notebook that I took apart. I'm going to use that for backing for some cards, so I need to tea dye that. These are decorative papers, and yeah, I think there's no scrapbooking paper in this one. This is just these decorative paper pads. Very thin paper, because I don't want scrapbooking paper because it adds too much bulk. But as you can see, I've chosen a blue color scheme because of the cover. And could we just take a minute to appreciate the absolutely stunning end pages? I mean, come on, this is gorgeous. I'm definitely probably not gonna be able to keep this part in, but I'm gonna save it and use it. So, so I have these don't need tea dyeing, so I can put those aside for assembling stuff. I think I'm gonna use this to decorate pages and not as much as pages in the book itself. Then I have some printables. This is a map of the town we live in. The theme for the book is going to be the town Fredericia where we live, because she was born and raised here and she really loves this place. So this is a map of the, I don't know the year, but it's a map of the old town center. This dude is King Frederick III. He is the founder of this town. Some old paintings from here. There was a major battle between Prussia and Denmark just outside the city gates and the rampart. So that's a painting from that event. And then I went on Warpixel and printed out a whole bunch of these William Morris pages in the public domain area, because I'm gonna use that for decoration of the pages. So I will need to tea dye those either. These are a bunch of, I went to the local archives homepage, websites, and they have this collection of old photos from around 1900. And so I printed out a whole bunch to make into journaling spots and decorations for the pages. So I have a whole ton of those. Then I have these. I like the font. This is a very sturdy paper. I like the font, and I'm probably going to use this to put pockets on, or images or something. She could use this as a journaling spot. So I think I'm gonna make 3 signatures. So I have 3 of those. Then I have this old ledger paper that I'm gonna include somehow. I'm probably gonna hinge it to something else. So I have that. And then we come to the part where I think I might actually use some of this. This is not like vintage at all, as you can see. I found it in a thrift store. But I kind of like the paper, and I think I'm gonna tea dye some of that. I think it's the kind of paper that were used for like by architects and stuff in the old days before the computer. So I'm gonna grab 3 of those, and then I can see my budgie just. And then I have this. Do I have anything worth using here? Yeah, I have. So I think I'm gonna take a whole bunch of this nice quality paper and tea dye that. Because as you can see, it's a big book, and A4 pages just won't cut. They won't cut it. They're too small. So I think I'm gonna use this and just tea dye a whole bunch of those for pages. And then I have this with old sheet music, and I think I might try to hinge this to the ledger paper. So if we can find the middle of a signature, I might be able to remove, just snap these strings if I can manage. Oh, there's one I didn't snap. Why won't you? Okay. So I think I'm just gonna. How many? Yeah, I think we're just gonna take these. And as you can see, it's kind of like a more vintage and old things I've found. But I also found this at the thrift store. I think this was kind of, it was published by the local authorities, and it's sort of like about companies in the area, and there's a lot of photos in here I definitely won't be using because they're like not pretty, but there might be some that I might be able to use as probably not pages. Maybe I'm gonna include I mean, you could definitely use a page like this as a page, and then just cover the back of it with some plainer paper. So I think I might be able to use some of the pages, like this is the area around the rampart. I think, yeah, I think it is. And the old little belt bridge. So I might be able to use some of this. So, but now I need, as you can see, a lot of these are not, I mean, nice photos and all, but I'm not going to use them. I'm not going to use something like that, for instance. But there are some older images in the front, like this one, and I think there were, maybe that was it. I thought there were more like older photos in this one. Maybe not. Yeah, that painting again that I printed out. This is a nicer version, so I'm probably going to use that. So I am going to make a huge batch of really dark tea and start tea dyeing. So that's what I'm going to do now. See you in the kitchen.